In light of the planned protest tomorrow, the county government of Bomet is listening and understanding government committed to addressing the needs and aspirations of our people. As your servant, I assure you that I'm deeply concerned and empathetic about the issues facing our people in Bomet, particularly the youthful population. As part of our continuous effort to address the issues concerning the youth, presently we convened a youth conference to chart a path towards reducing unemployment amongst our youth. This initiative, which will be a regular event, is aimed at creating sustainable solutions and providing our young people with opportunities they deserve. And I want to start by saying, on the issue of the youth conference, there are some agreements that we made. Of course, the application was open, but we managed to have 1,500 youths attending our youth conference. We made some agreements, and I made some commitment. And in the current budget of the year 2024-2025, we have factored in some money to address some of those issues. Not necessarily the Department of Youth, because I think there is some confusion when you see a budget assigned to the Department of Youth. Those are just for running activities in the youth department. But when we talk of the budget of the county government of Bomet, it covers everybody. So some of the money are in the Department of Agriculture, some are in the Department of Roads, but all of them, partly, some of it will be to address the youth challenges that we have, as agreed in our youth conference. Of course, there's some communication that has gone out to some of the participants. We are seeking more information, but I think because of the timing, it has been misconstrued that we are actually reacting to the planned demonstration for tomorrow, or protest, or the visit by our agencies. But that is not true. This has been a plan that has been going on, and I'm committed to that, because next year, around the same time, we'll be having another youth conference, and I have a report to make on what progress have we been able to make on the first cohort of 1,500 youths. So I'm committed to that, because I'm equally concerned. Because as much as I'm your governor, I'm also your parent. As Bomet County government, we were all along ready to realign our priorities to fit the demands of our young people. We will not abandon this course, which we had started long before the recent nationwide protest, because my government listened to the grassroots level, and I think I underline that. Following the footsteps of His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, I'm also fully committed to acting on issues affecting our agencies, because their future is our future. And we must work together to create an environment where they can thrive. My administration cannot ignore that all is not well in our country and in our county. Just like other counties, we have our own issues. However, I can assure all that all will be well, because this government is all inclusive. While my administration works towards bringing all our young population in the decision table so that we can move forward as a county, I must also warn you of politicians who are now out in Bomet to take advantage of this honest concern raised by our young people. I'm also aware that money has been collected and dispersed to a few individuals in a plot to destabilize the normal government operations and also disrupt our businesses in Bomet town. So let us remain vigilant and ensure that our genuine concerns are not hijacked by personal or political gain for political gains. So I want to emphasize that point that yes, we have issues that has been faced by our young people, agencies, and they have very valid grievances that we must all address. And this is not the responsibility of the president alone. It will not be the responsibility of the governors alone. It will not even be the responsibility of the MPs alone. It is our responsibility as a society. It will all start from our families. So we must address the issue of unemployment as much as we are looking up to the government to address the issue. All of us have a role to play to create more opportunities for our young people. But it is quite unfortunate when we have a few of our politicians taking advantage of that and derailing the agenda of the young people. It is quite unfortunate because I'm aware, for example, tomorrow, money has been collected and the protest has not even been organized from Bomet, as much as I am aware of things that have been ongoing. But virtually, the planning is being done from Bomet, which is quite unfortunate. Money has been collected for the leadership of the protesters. Each has been given around 50,000, and for each youth that will appear, they will be given 1,000, which is quite unfortunate. And I want to call upon my colleagues, please, the politicians. I don't want to name names here, but at some point, I think we have to call a spade, and we must come out and assign whatever outcome of tomorrow to specific individuals. So please let us not misuse our children. We are listening and we want to address our issues as I have indicated. It is my problem. It is your problem. It is our problem. And we must address those issues. And that is why I've said, as county government of Bomet, we have been very proactive. Very proactive. Although we delayed in calling for the youth conference, but that is a message to all of us that we want to address these issues, and we want to address them genuinely, not for political reasons, but because I know I have a responsibility as the governor. I also have a responsibility as a parent because I have children and you are my children. And these issues, if we don't address, this is a time for our country. So we must address those issues. I urge you to reject the temptation to use our agencies to further evil schemes. We should call them out and make them aware that their personal pursuits will not overtake the general good of the great people of Bomet. I'm committed to engaging in dialogue with our youth and addressing their pertinent issues. My office is always open. We are ready to listen and act on your concerns. Together we can build a better Bomet for all of us. So, to reinforce the message that I have given to you on the involvement of politicians, part of probably what will be presented tomorrow is an edited report from the Office of the Auditor General. It is a public document. You can log into the website of the Auditor General and retrieve reports for all the 47 counties. But we have a version that was edited, and unfortunately it was done in the office of the Senator, and a copy, and even some of the information has been manipulated to create an impression that we are misappropriating funds. I want to say we have statutory appearances in the Senate, and if there is anything to be prosecuted as relates to how money has been used in Bomet, then we have a forum. I don't fear. I'm ready to appear from Monday to Friday to address issues in the Senate if there are any. We've appeared for the ECD teachers, and there was nothing. It was just hot hair, nothing. And I want you to follow and find out from the Senate what was the issue. Yesterday we were in the Senate on the issue of our referral hospital on Kisa, and there was nothing. There was nothing. Actually nothing. In fact, most of the issues that had been raised were actually reported to the Senate committee by the Office of the Auditor General, and the issues are being cleared. And they were actually cleared, except for the two issues. One was the risk management policy. And the reason why we don't have for Longisa Referral Hospital is because we have an overall risk management policy for the entire county. Longisa Referral Hospital is a new entity when it comes to audit, and they have not adopted our risk management policy, which we have. So each and every entity that is within the county government of Bombay must have their own policy, but are adopted from the overall policy that we have in government. Secondly, the other thing that has not been addressed was in the asset register, which still is similar to what I've mentioned about the risk management policy. We still maintain a centralized register for all of our assets, which is in the Department of Finance. But because of the requirement now, the changes in the law, particularly on the audit entities, we must decentralize so that each entity maintains its own register. So we have a register, but within the Department of Finance. And then we also have challenges when it comes to assets as 47 counties. In fact, it was just last month when we are handed over a report, a national report on the assets that were handed over from the defunct local authorities to the county governments. We just received the report the other day. In fact, I received, I think, 3 vehicles. Some of them have been given to our facilities, and we are yet to reconcile those records. So those are the two outstanding issues